Greetings everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. As you're watching this, Blade Show is less than 24 hours away. I'm finishing up my final preparations to get on a plane and head down to Georgia, and I am super excited, and I hope that you are too. I hope you all have safe travels if you're going, and I hope you don't feel too left out if you're not. Hopefully there will be some content to keep you guys entertained in the meantime, because I should have content coming out bi-daily as usual. And as I was thinking about what videos that I want to make, two videos that I owe you guys did come to mind. The Orion V2 follow-up and the Dracolisk, the Civivi knife follow-up. And I was thinking, which one of those do I want to do? Until the answer hit me. Neither of them. Because there's a balisong that I have to say goodbye to that I almost kind of forgot to make a video on until just now as I was packing up all my things. That does mean that I have to push out the Orion and the Dracolisk videos and follow-ups until after Blade Show, but given how important this week is to our hobby, I'm sure you can understand. The balisong that we are saying goodbye to this Blade Show is this, the False Live Blade Prysma Pro. This, if you don't know the story, was actually lent to me by one of the head honchos of MachineWise, Martin himself, in an extremely generous gesture to basically just say, hey, you can have this thing for a year. Just bring it back to me next Blade Show. And intent on honoring that, I have remembered to bring it back to him. I'm interested if he's even going to remember that I have this. Because I certainly, if I gave someone else a balisong for a year, unless it was one of my prized possessions, like my Slifty or my Seraph, there's a chance I would kind of just forget about it until they brought it up again. I don't know. Maybe someone out there does have a balisong that I lent them that I completely forgot about. I highly doubt it, but who knows? So it is time to say goodbye. And I basically just wanted to give you guys a long-term update on this thing, because this thing has lived a life. Why is my finger blue? Where'd the blue come from? Okay, I don't know where that came from. It looks like I was playing with a marker. Genuinely no idea, but this thing has lived a life that no other balisong in my collection has, because in an attempt to make me not mistake this for the rest of my collection, I didn't want it to get lost and me get used to having it and then forget to bring it back to Martine afterwards. So I intentionally never put it in any of my cases. It's actually sat next to me on my desk for the last year. I have a little cardboard pen holder with a calendar on the front of it. And that has housed a few different balisongs, but only two have stayed in there permanently. Number one is that weird pen balisong that Zippy made last year at Blade Show. And number two is this thing, which means that I've seen it and reached for it to flip, many, many more times than a lot of other things in my collection over the last year. It has been really awesome to have this thing, and I just really want to extend a huge thank you to Martine for letting me try this thing for such an extended period of time. I genuinely will miss it. It has an experience that is unlike anything else in my collection because of the specialness of it. And if you don't know, it's basically just a false live blade, Prysma live blade, the leaf blade. They didn't make too many of these, so it's already rare to begin with. But these handles were also a test. They did some sort of tumbling on it before the anodization, I think is how it went. You can watch the original videos that I made on this thing to find out that whole story. But it genuinely does feel completely different to my current Prysma Pro, because the Prysma Pro feels a little bit more unrefined and angular in comparison to this thing, which is like a cloud. It's actually kind of a good midpoint between the original Prysma, which is very round and comfortable, and the Prysma Pro, which is a little more angular to give you a little bit more control, which is ironic because the Prysma Pro is actually rounder than the flat Prysma V1, but all of the sharp corners kind of just sting a little bit more. They don't sting. It's not an uncomfortable balisong by any means, but compared to this, it just feels more refined. This feels way more refined than this, and it's crazy because they didn't really change anything about the handles besides when they did the tumble. So it's been a really cool balisong to have in my collection. It flips awesomely. I am going to have to get myself a leaf blade one of these days because the flipping experience is just, I mean, it's just awesome. It feels like a Prysma Pro, but a little bit better to me. I think I do actually like this thing more than the Prysma Pro, just in terms of like flipping the live blade versus the trainer. Still love the Prysma Pro, don't get me wrong, but this is not meant to be a video of me glazing the Prysma Pro. I've already tortured Machine-Wise enough about all of that. I simply just wanted to say thank you, Martine, and I really, really enjoyed having this little guy in my collection. And it was great to flip it. I flipped it quite a bit. It was nice to have with me on my desk at all times. You know, I saw it a lot because it was sitting on my desk. A lot of other balisongs don't really sit on my desk unless they're sitting like over here waiting to get a video or something like that done. So it was really nice to have. I really do appreciate it, Martine. And I am ultimately sad to be saying goodbye to this little guy. I will miss it. But yeah, I just figured I'd make a video saying goodbye to this thing so that people don't, maybe people will ask me about it. Maybe you guys even forgot that I had this thing. I haven't put it in a video in the last little bit here, but it is gone. It is not mine. I must return it to its rightful and true owner. And I look forward to doing that at Blade Show. So if you're going to Blade Show, please make sure you watched Tuesday's video, the advice for someone going to Blade Show 2026. A lot of stuff in there that I think everyone needs to know before they get to Blade Show. And probably most importantly, come say hi to me if you're going to Blade Show. I really look forward to meeting all of you guys. And you can have a spin on some of the balisongs that you see in this very video. And in the history of this channel. I mean, there's a lot of things in here that are very important to this channel and its identity. Excuse me, its identity. So, yeah, Blade Show is going to be fun. Look forward to that if you're going. If you're not going, I will still have videos for you guys, including the return of Flip the Script. Don't worry, I didn't forget about that series. So until then, I will see you all in Flip the Script episode 7. Peace. And goodbye, my purple friend.